Rumi and Mira entered the Huntrix show race. Same arena, same night, different roles. Mira stood where the banners were aimed. Rumi was listed just to fill the slot. The board had chosen who should lead before the gates were ever raised. Mira was framed as the certain win. Rumi was there to complete the race. From the opening turn, Mira cut the lane, closing space with deliberate force. Rumi pulled back to avoid the hit, choosing safety over collision. They move fast, 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 crowd is watching. Mira just like the corner. I won't stop, I won't stop, I won't leave. Fast, 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 pressure rising. Rumi stays wide to keep control. I won't stop, I won't stop, I won't leave. The distance grows with every lap. Whispers start across the stands. They believe the result is fixed before the race is halfway done. The final curve comes sharp and fast. Mira turns without a warning sign. Still collides, the saddle breaks. Rumi falls hard onto the track. The horse freezes in open fear. Officials wait for the end. Mira rides on without looking back, certain the race is already hers. Rumi stands and calms the horse, hands steady, voice kept low. No signal comes to clear the path, but Rumi mounts and moves again. They move fast, 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 crowd goes silent. Rumi rides clean through broken order. I won't stop, I won't stop, I won't leave. Fast, 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 meters closing. Control replaces reckless speed. I won't stop, I won't stop, I won't leave. Mira looks back and sees the gap. The finish line comes into view. One begins to lose control. One holds steady through the push. Rumi crosses not by raw speed, but by balance held to the end. The crowd erupts, the result is clear. The plan did not decide the win. Mira stops beyond the line. Understanding comes too late. Not everyone chosen at the start can control how the race Rumi stepped out to the open beach, wind on her hair in the late day heat. Zoe walked near with the narrowed gaze, watching how Gina stayed by Rumi's side. On the sand where the car lines were drawn, Mira'S sent nets as the breeze moved on. Rumi jogged in with a bright white smile, ready to play with friends for a while. Teams were chosen while the sun stayed soft across the waves. So we kept quiet, watching Rumi standing next to Gina. She struck hard, hard, hard at the fastball, aimed it straight at Rumi when stakes rose, sending her stumbling, oh, down, down, down on the warm sand, twisting at the ankle with the doubt, crying out from sudden aching. Oh, the moment shattered, Rumi falling, hands clutching her leg. Oh, Gina rushing, lifting her quickly, calling help ahead. near the court's mark line, acting like shock, though her eyes slid wide. Mira stepped in, pointing to the move, telling the crowd what she clearly saw. Lifeguards arrived, checking swelling fast. Jin nail closed while the worst had passed. So we looked pale, hearing Mira speak, knowing the truth was finally clear. Rumi and gently on Jinu's arm, trying not to shake. So we stood silent at the edge now, nothing left to claim. Facts rose up through the last light. Everyone knowing Zoe's intent. Gonna face the blame. Oh, up as the dust fell, watching Rumi leave with careful steps marked by what the day revealed. Oh, Zoe shaking, eyes turned downward, standing in the sand. Oh, Rumi leaving with Jinu beside her, guided by Mira'S hand. They moved from the beach slowly and softly, footprints fading low, fading. So we stayed back with the court abandoned, watching the shadows grow. Left with the truth she tried to bury, alone in the cooling glow. Rumi walked out to the morning waves, soft motifs, light and gentle haze. Mira stayed back with her tracker on, watching its signal move across the bay. Jinu prepared for a quiet swim too, smiled at Rumi in the silver blue. Mira sped up on her rented jet ski, planning the path where the crash would be. Rumi drifted through the shallows, breathing calm and free. Never saw the growing wake line rushing in from Mira'S speed. She was hit by the sharp wave, thrown against the coral underwater grave. Gonna bleed from it all. Hit in the sunrise, reaching out for Jinu through blurry eyes. Gonna bleed from it all. Ocean twisting, Rumi sinking, salt along her skin. Oh, Jinu diving, pulling her upward, holding her again. Jinu brought her to the safer sand, saw coral cuts deep across her hand. Mira froze still as the cameras played, showing her circle close in every frame. Rumi breathed slow while the truth came through, pain in her ribs, but her gaze stayed true. Mira turned pale at the jet ski marks, knowing her plan to shatter apart. Jinu wrapped Rumi, gently guided her away. Mira stood alone behind them, with nothing left to say. Truth rose up in the clear view.